on social media talking about crowd size, relitigating the popular vote, talking about Scaramucci, and as they say, the whole world is watching. Our mutual friend Eugene Robinson writes this. The astonishing thing is that the president of the United States is, let's face it, raving like a lunatic, and everyone just shrugs. The truth is that we don't have an actual presidency right now. We have a tiresome reality show whose ratings have begun to slide and whose fading star sees cancellation on the way. Bill, your response?
Yeah, it's interesting with Anthony Scaramucci coming out just a week or two ago and is saying that Trump's getting worse. People around Trump are worried. And then Trump seems to sort of confirm it with his tweets. I think that's pretty striking and gives Scaramucci, who otherwise people might discount a little bit, some credibility. And I do think if others start to say, I'm not like Bill Kristol, I'm not some never Trumper. I was for Trump, I voted for him, I wanted it to work, but we just can't afford a second term. That could be a pretty interesting moment. If you put together the economic downturn, which may or may not come, but Germany is already in recession, so that's a real question mark. If you put together what's going to happen in September in the Senate, where Mitch McConnell seems to have committed to bringing up a gun bill, which, as you reported, the president is now backing off on. There's election security legislation, which there'll be a lot of pressure to bring up, which the president won't be happy with. And I think we'll have one or two ex-congressmen announcing that they're going to join the Bill Weld in the field to challenge President Trump for the Republican nomination. They won't beat him, presumably. But again, that could be a bit of a sort of a challenge, not just a challenge, but a sense that, it's not so 100% inevitable that everyone has to just acquiesce to the renomination of Donald Trump.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.